Taking charge and being a leader can be a great experience, but what happens when you're a leader and you aren't communicating with others as well? Jody Holland is in today to discuss why people misunderstand a leader. Jody, there are some clear expectations that leaders need to set, and you're an expert on this, so tell us more about it.
So one of the main problems that Harvard Business says about leaders is we don't set an expectation for what we really want from people. So often what we end up doing is saying, hey, I want you to go do a great job. But if you think about it, the home that you grew up in, if you have brothers and sisters, they don't see the world the same as you do. So why would we expect that the people that work with us would see the same thing that we see? So do a good job or work hard doesn't mean the same thing to me that it might mean to someone else. What we really have to do is we have to set 3 clear things whenever we're setting expectations. Number 1, what do you want? Number 2, when do you want it by? And number 3, how will you measure its success? So often when we say do a good job, we know exactly what we mean, but we don't describe it to other people. So it's the behavioral description that ends up making the biggest difference. So it's interesting to me, Harvard says that 85 out of 100 problems in business relate to poor communication. So I think setting expectations is such an important part of being a great communicator.
And I think, Jody, it probably translates into just in life. I think about my marriage a lot of times. In my mind, I know exactly what I'm saying. In my mind,
yeah.
And I may leave out a few details, but I know.
Yeah.
And then I expect my wife to have read my mind and know that, and you have to work on that communication.
Absolutely. I think you're right in every aspect of our life, with our kids, with our spouses, with our employees, even with our bosses. If we're really clear about what we expect, then people will follow our leadership so much easier. So make sure, what do you want, when do you want it by, and how are you going to measure its success?
Can I dive a little bit more into the third one? Because I think the first 2, we typically get that. What do you want? Tell me what you want. Okay, it needs to be done by next week. Great. But how is it going to be a success? Is it just done, or, you know, like... So
well, yeah, and so, I mean, to your point, one of the simple things that we can really do is just map out, if we have this specific outcome, I'm happy. But if you don't know the specific outcome, then step back and think about that before you set that expectation. So, Andy, I think you're right on when you say let's dive deeper, because if I don't know how to describe what success is, then there's no way that that person's going to achieve what I wanted from them.
Right. In sales, it's really simple. I need 40 of these units sold by next week. Great. Awesome. That's your level of success. Tell me about, because I feel like anytime you and I start talking, I want to continue to know more.
Right.
And you told me last week there's a way that you can get kind of leadership tips just texted right to you.
Right. So if you will text Jody, J-O-D-Y, to 66866, then every Monday morning you'll get a quick leadership tip. It's just a 1-minute tip that helps you understand a new aspect of being a great leader. I've got about 1,000 people that receive these tips every Monday morning now, so I'd love to have you guys as a part of that.
And then you're also available, I know just recently in talking with you off camera, you're doing a lot of these seminars, traveling all over the place. How can people kind of get in touch with you, maybe where you can come into their workplace and teach leadership right there?
So the easiest thing is to just go to my website, jodyholland.com, or if you want to see any of the events that are going on locally, if you go to jodyholland.eventbrite.com, and Eventbrite, B-R-I-T-E, not B-R-I-G-H-T.
Okay. Very good. He's an educator, he's an entertainer, and he's a motivator, and he's one of our friends. Jody, we always appreciate you spending time with us.
You bet.
And thank you for your words of wisdom.
Thanks, Andy.
We've got more Studio 4 after this.